The Brighton Police Department is investigating a potential hate crime at an all-girls Catholic high school. It happened at Our Lady of Mercy, where racist graffiti was written in a school bathroom over the weekend. 13 WHAM's Carla Rogner spoke to police about this investigation and tonight to some Mercy students.
Yeah, Doug, school administrators say they found the graffiti in a school bathroom this morning just before 8 and reported it to the Brighton Police Department.
It's scary that I have to go into school knowing that there's somebody there that has those feelings, has those thoughts towards the Black community.
News of racist graffiti found in their school bathroom left the Reese sisters frightened.
I know when I first saw it, my heart kind of dropped to my stomach.
Graffiti found on the bathroom wall included the N-word and read, "Get out or else."
Just overall feeling of being scared, really, for them.
The Brighton Police Department is investigating it as a hate crime.
You know, these type of incidents really don't have any place anywhere, let alone in a school setting. It's supposed to be a safe environment for kids to learn.
The school is offering counseling to students.
Love, faith, and hope are key values for us. So to witness this, to see this was simply devastating and horrible. And the girls themselves are struggling with it. The faculty and staff are struggling.
Mercy was open all weekend for sports and activities. It's unclear whether someone from the school or an outsider is responsible for the message.
Schools have camera footage, and we are going to look to see who was in the hallway, to see who went in the bathroom, and we will try our best to narrow down that time frame.
Molly Kantz is organizing a rally in response Tuesday morning.
And I have not heard anybody who's said this was okay. And so I don't want people to think that our school isn't in support of ending racism or not in support of Black Lives Matter.
She and the Reese sisters hope it will spark conversation in the school community.
What made me feel a little bit better about today is you could see the frustration and anger among all our students. You know what I mean? This is one person who has this deep feeling in their heart.
In addition to offering counseling, the school principal says there are plans to respond to this with programming, meetings, events, and more diversity training. Anyone with information on the racist graffiti should contact the Brighton Police Department or the high school.
Rochester City Council is expected to vote on a bill this month that would protect tenants from being evicted without good cause. 4 cities in New York have passed similar bills. As Jane Chaco reports now, advocates in Rochester say this is something that's needed here.
Yeah, Doug, City Councilwoman Mary Lupien is sponsoring the Good Cause Eviction bill, which she says would protect responsible tenants. A housing provider I spoke with today disagrees and says the bill would hurt local landlords the most. Since New York's eviction moratorium ended in January, there have been over 800 eviction hearings in the city of Rochester. Mary Lupien co-sponsored the Good Cause Eviction bill in City Council. She says this law is needed because of gentrification and cases where some landlords are evicting tenants in order to raise the rent for the next tenant.
Right now, there is no legal recourse for tenants. They could be responsible tenants paying their rent, not violating the lease, and through no fault of their own, they will need to uproot their families within 30 days.
The bill would make lease renewals automatic and require landlords or property owners to prove there is good cause to evict a resident, like not paying their rent or violating the lease.
It's our job to look at the situation and see, what do our residents need? And right now, this is what our residents need.
The bill would also allow tenants to fight an eviction for not paying rent if a landlord raised rent by 5% or more in 1 year. Rich Tyson owns several homes in the city. He says this bill is going to hurt small landlords who have mortgages and bills to pay.
I'm telling a tenant, look, I either have to get your rent up or you have to move on. You're on a month-to-month lease. I don't want to do this, but the reality of it is I can't afford to pay for you to live here.
Tyson says many local landlords are leaving the market because they can't afford to own properties anymore.
I've sold off 31 properties in the last year and a half. All but 4 have gone to an out-of-state or downstate investor with much bigger pockets.
The city of Albany passed a Good Cause Eviction bill last July. A group of landlords filed a lawsuit saying it violates state laws and the U.S. Constitution. City Council will vote on this bill next Tuesday.
Thanks, Scott. Yesterday's winds brought down trees, brought down power lines across the area. Dalton Williams continues our coverage tonight with how the cleanup is going. Dalton?
Yes, Doug, RG&E says about 2,800 customers are still left without power. Now, that's compared to the 37,000 that were left without power yesterday. Outages caused some local businesses to close today and leaving homeowners to deal with the mess the storm left behind.
I heard what sounded like a freight train.
At first, Paula Barlow thought a tornado touched down in her Riga yard.
So I knew the wind had picked up quite a bit, and I went out my kitchen window and I started looking, and I saw shingles flying off of the shed. And as I'm looking out the window, I saw the whole tree just come right down.
The winds ripping the tree from its roots and crushing her carport.
It was frightening. I saw the tree tip over, and I ran outside, and I'm looking around for my family because I knew they were out here, and one of my sons did get hit in the head with a stick, and he ended up with a scratch, but everybody else was safe.
Barlow's not alone. The storm took down trees and power lines across the area, knocking out power to thousands. A spokesperson for RG&E says the recent weather conditions softened the grounds, making it easier for the trees to topple.
Actually, we sort of had a perfect storm, to use that expression, where we had all that snow melt in the last couple of days, which really saturated the ground with moisture and made it very weak at holding the trees.
In Henrietta, customers had to be turned away at many businesses, closed because of the power outages. RG&E had hundreds of utility workers out since the start of the storm, working quickly to restore electricity.
Our first priority was because of all the damage in the trees, was to, public safety. And so our crews first focused on taking care of any down power lines or electrical equipment.
Again, RG&E says that most of these repairs should be done by 11:30 tonight, and that they have dry ice and bottled water available for those that need it.